Shankrat. Hey, Lulua.
So, hi
I'm
Mumbai,
so
how are you
excited to
doing?
actually do this. Okay, so Lulua, let's introduce you.
Yes,
Introduce yourself, and then I'll introduce myself.
yes. So I am Lulua Rajputwala. You might know him as Muhammad Gandhi, CEO Little Helpers, but I know him as Mamu Bhai. So he is my oldest cousin, and we are first cousins. And he was this ideal cousin, you look up to because by the time we were, in school and all, Mumbai had already passed out of school, and
So we are 7 years apart, Lulua. 6 years apart, 7 years apart, 8 years apart. I was
we are. I am 89, and you are 81.
82 December. So my birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yes, of course, yes, I know. So
Yeah,
yeah, we are 7 years apart.
7 years apart.
Yeah, we are 7 years apart.
It's crazy,
Yeah,
right? Like, but that seven
yeah,
years is not that big of a difference. But I think when we were growing up,
yeah.
it was such a huge difference in age. Like, I felt like sometimes I would feel like a parent in front of you guys.
Yeah, because you were the oldest, right? So you were like the oldest cousin, and because your mom's also like Tasiwas is also like the oldest sister, and then you being the firstborn and the oldest.
I
So
know.
yeah, definitely that the thing came in that okay, Mamu Bhai, he's like Mota
So,
se Mamu Bhai, like
Lulua, I'm actually okay. So I've started doing therapy in the last few weeks,
okay,
couple of months maybe. Okay,
okay,
and just to kind of go through stuff like now when I say this thing to you know I felt like a parent with you guys.
mm, mm,
It now I'm able to verbalize it in the sense that I am able to say it out loud because I knew that this is
right,
what I felt in front of you guys growing up.
correct, correct.
That responsibility of being the adult almost like at like what 10 years old.
Yeah, I know because when you were 10, there were a bunch of small kiddies
Oh
who were
my god.
hiding and they were like, Mamu Bhai, Mamu Bhai, and I
And
was
I
like,
was like, I was actually there was a time when somebody mistook me for one of my cousin Ali's dad when I was 14 years old.
okay, right.
When I was
Ali, I
14.
think Ali was the youngest
Yeah, he was the
of them.
youngest for a long time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I was so shook after that time. Like, it's a lot to process. Okay, so Lulu, why are we here today? We are here. We were talking the other day, 3 4 days ago. I called you up,
Yeah.
and both of us grew up fat.
Yes.
Okay, in India in the 80s. Well, you were almost a 90s kid, but I grew up in the 80s 90s where being fat was almost like having like a third arm or like a limb coming out of your head or something like that.
Mumbai, strangely enough, it is still a taboo right here. Probably now, you are in Toronto and, things are different for you over there. But, a limb coming out of your head is still the case over here. So if you are, fat, it's like, you are almost, how can I say? You are incapable of doing anything in your life. Like, okay, you are fat. Like, it's something that, is just associated with you as your personality. Like people stop seeing anything beyond you being fat. So regardless of how talented you are, regardless of how well you are with your work or how good you do things, you are fat. Basically, that's the only thing. You'll be like, oh, she's a nice girl, but she's fat.
Well, what
So
does that mean
people,
though? What does that mean?
that means that you are fat. You don't fit into this compartmentalized,
Lulu,
you
I think
know,
a lot of this, no,
society had made.
a lot of this, the baggage now, I feel, I hate to say this, but I think it is also reinforced by our own families.
It is Mumbai. At some point of time, growing up, you're constantly being told that, you're fat, so you'll not get married, you'll not get good prospective husbands, and
You'll not go anywhere in
and,
life. And this was not as
yeah,
bad with boys. I was also a fat
yeah.
kid.
yeah, boys would still get married, because okay,
Yeah, because yeah, we
yeah,
are.
boys could still get married, but being a girl, it was very difficult, because I was constantly being told that I am fat, and
When did you
I
realize you're fat?
I started realizing I was fat when I was told that I was fat.
When
Otherwise, when I
when
looked at myself in the mirror,
when
I was
when?
pretty okay. Probably when I was in the seventh or eighth grade.
Oh, really? That long, huh?
Yeah, that long. So from that point only, so I had always been a very healthy child, okay. And then what happened was that when I started, in my adolescence and when I was going towards my teens.
Acha, so let's define healthy, because healthy for when we say healthy in India, it means a big kid.
So I was a big kid. I was
Yeah.
a big healthy kid from the beginning. Okay. So yes. So a lot of times, even when I was even in school, the teachers kind of looked down upon you because you were fat. You were never. I was never, taken into any elocutions or debates or any plays or any cultural events, because why? Because costumes won't would be available for my size, or I would not get things of my
Really?
size. Probably, yeah, I would not look good with the other the cream crowd, or the good children, or the slim girls, the
Oh my
beautiful
God, Lulu,
slim
I had
girls.
no idea all of this, because
Yeah. Hmm.
my like I also so my thing was I was also being, when you are a fat kid and I was a soft kid, huh? I was like a, in the sense, like I was like, I'm not like that that rowdy kind of a kid, or like that I'm not
Correct.
a, but I had to kind of project that personality in order
Hmm.
to survive school.
I think, Mambai, everybody has to, because you cannot show them that these things are affecting you somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, the minute you show that, you will be bullied like 10 times more than what you already are being bullied.
So
You know?
my the sense of humor that I developed, like people cracking jokes, and then trying to be like that big guy. If somebody comes to fight, then you also have to like, hey, maybe even I'm gonna fight. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm scared because I don't know how to fight. I can't even run if something happens.
Correct.
If something goes down, I'm not even gonna run anywhere. I'm like, I'm a sitting duck and they're gonna beat me down. And it has happened a few times where I was just beaten down because I couldn't do anything. Uh, and they call my bluff, like, okay, this guy's not going to do anything.
Right. So yeah, you have to, I think, project yourself as being that tough kid,
But
and
I'm actually
who are.
surprised, Lulu, I took you till the eighth or ninth grade to realize you're fat.
Yeah, because I think the time I realized that I actually mostly realized it because of years in your school. Dharma, okay, everybody used to keep saying that, okay, you're fat, 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 but then who listens really, It's okay. But then when you are growing up, when you're teens, when you start, like 13, 14, and when you are crushing on a guy, or when you have things like that happening, and when you see others, they are of a different body type, you are of a different body type, the other girls get attention, you don't, because you look a certain way. Okay, because okay, very frankly, which guy would, if you would choose, okay, you want a fat girl or a thin girl, I'm sure you would, like, go with a thin girl who has a crush on you rather than a fat girl who has a crush. So there are these things, that's the time when I realized that, okay, I am fat. So
And so
things
you
like that.
basically, the label that the society was giving you, you accepted it when seventh, eighth grade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm
yeah,
fat now.
I was, yeah, and at
But
that
because you
point
were
of
fat
time,
even before that, right? It's not like you suddenly
yeah,
became fat.
I was always, yeah,
But you didn't accept it, as that label was not your own
yeah. It was
until.
not my own label until the time when I started realizing that, okay, things are different now and people see you in a different way. So you're when you are still in school and all, you're basically in a cocoon.
Yeah,
Things
right.
are like, in a cocoon. The moment you step out in the world, so things got worse when I started going to college. So everybody had boyfriends around, and I was the only one who never had a boyfriend. Okay, not that I regret anything of it, but I'm just saying that, of course,
You realize that you are different, right? Like you.
yeah, you realize that you are different. fit into the norms of being normal. So as if you, as like you said, a third limb coming out of your head, it was just like that, as if I have something which nobody else has. And it took me a very long time to say this to myself also, that I'm fat. That I am fat. So I used to be ashamed to call myself fat also. Like fat is like a curse word, like a bad word. You know,
Hmm.
So I am fat. I couldn't say that loud, that I am fat. So if you just go to see, it's like a three-letter word, FAT, fat. You learn the opposites also, fat, thin. But then that word, when it comes to you and when you get the label, so that's a very different feeling altogether.
So Nuray, for me also, like I remember I realized I was fat when I could not find clothes that would fit me.
Correct. Right.
And again, in that time, like mid 90s, like you would not find, for
It was
men,
very
you
difficult. Right.
to find like jeans beyond 36 inches in India was very difficult.
I think now in India you find plus size stores. There are stores which are plus size, and now you can
And they
get
will
it.
find, even they'll carry like larger clothing as
Yeah,
well. But
yeah.
when I was growing up, early 90s and stuff like that, mid 90s, nothing. And then, oh my God, मैंने कहा समझ ना, like I would think like, oh, I'm nothing is fitting me. I
Yeah.
could,
And then when you have to go out, you have nothing to wear, and then you have to like dress
yeah.
up like a NG and go. And I used to hate that because everybody used to wear jeans and stuff, and things used to be bad when I used to go for school. Because that was the time when girls would flaunt the best of clothes they had, because
Because
in the
they don't
boys'
have
school,
like that parents kind of telling them, "Ki, don't
yeah,
wear
and
this."
I was in a boys' school, so we had guys around, so you wanted the guys' attention and everything like that. At that age, what was it?
Yeah, and
You
that is what it
to
is,
get
right?
attention from guys.
Right.
So going on these trips and all used to be such a struggle, because mummy would tell me that you pack salwar kameez and go, because salwar kameez used to look good on me and they used to fit me. And I would absolutely deny saying that I'm not going to take salwar kameez, because I know how girls would dress up and come, and then they would call me a benji, and then they would
So
encourage
Benji
me
is
and stuff.
basically like calling you an auntie or something, right? Like that's
Yeah.
yeah.
And at that point of time, no, I think me and Hussein are almost the same size. So then I used to like tell Taslimas, and Taslimas used to send me Hussein's jeans, and I used to take Hussein's jeans and go.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
things like that. Yeah. I think that, and I used to love raiding on Hussein's cupboard. The minute I used to come to your house, Hussein would be like, "You are not touching my clothes." And I'm like, "I'm taking everything and going."
Oh my God, that's so funny. I didn't know any of this. I
Yeah.
had no idea that you used to wear Hussein's clothes. That's so
I and
crazy.
Hussein were like we like very close. Like because we were almost like 2 years apart, almost the same age, grown up together. I used to spend a lot of time at your place, like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
my
yeah.
holidays were with you guys. So me and Hussein used to like really chill and all. So it was like a good bonding we had. And he used to like he used to trouble me equally. He used to just forget the fact that he was also equally fat, but he used to call me fat.
And I
Can you
think,
imagine that?
but this is what I think even I did.
Yeah.
I There was so much self-hatred that I had for myself now, that even after I lost my weight, like say 10, 12 years ago, I would still look at other fat people, and in my head, and sometimes even loudly, I would say, "Oh my God, look at them."
Hmm.
Like almost like, because I was projecting the insecurities and the self-loathing that I had for myself on other people as well, because that is how I talk to myself as well.
Yeah, right. No, it was more like, okay, you guys have told me this, so now it's my chance. Now I want
Yeah,
to tell you all that you all are fat.
but not
That
that
is how.
I would go and publicly shame them, but in my
Yeah,
head I'm saying it. But because
yeah,
I'm saying it, it is becoming truth. And I think in the last 5, 7, 8 years, I've kind of slowly lost that. I've kind of
correct.
stopped myself, and Sophie is one um, great thing that had happened in my life. Otherwise, my course of my life would have been very different.
We were so happy when you guys got together. I was the happiest. I love Sophie Babi. I have been with her ever since I remember, and I was so happy that she
She
is
is
happily now.
like she has really changed the course of my life in the sense that I was a very kind of like, "Bolu Jana," I think because my role models were my dad, and so I wanted to be like them, and I like only now that you realize you get older and like, okay, you know what, they're good people, but they're not perfect either, and
Yeah,
you don't
correct.
want to take on all all their qualities
Yeah,
to
true,
keep it
true.
simple.
Right? Understood. I totally get where you come from, because once you grow older, you start seeing things, you start understanding things which you would not otherwise.
And sometimes
So
though
yeah,
you
very
need that third person to tell you that, and somebody that you trust enough.
yeah.
Okay, no, 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 you're not doing this right. I don't think this is where you want to
Mm-hmm.
go.
Yeah, correct, correct.
Because you don't
This is
trust
not.
people, right? It's-
Yeah,
People tell you all, because especially like growing up, people used to tell me these weird. We were talking on the phone, like people used to stop us stop me literally on the street.
yeah.
Random
I have got
people.
that. I have got that too. Like, people would tell me like, why don't you try this herbal life? I do herbal life, and they come with a card and like, why don't you try this herbal life?
Yeah, come on.
I'm
Have you
so
tried walking up?
yeah,
Have you
you
tried
know,
drinking hot water in the morning?
with live. So remember I was telling you about this taxi guy who the other day I was sitting and like some time back
When
I
was
was in a
this?
taxi and like this was some like a year or two ago, and I sat in the taxi and I was like walking. It was hot and I had been walking for a very long time. From Mangaldas and all, you don't really get taxis. So I managed to find this taxi and I sat in the taxi and I was so relieved that thank God I got it. The
Yeah.
minute I sat, this after in like say 5 minutes, this guy told me, "Madam, अ, आपने आपका बहुत वजन है, आपने वो आप सुबह उठ के ना वो जीरो का पानी पीजिए
Hey,
और
translate, Lulu, translate.
yeah, okay, I'll translate. So that the cab guy told me that you're really fat and also why don't you have cumin water in the morning, then heat it and keep it overnight, and why don't you have honey and lime water and stuff." I was so pissed. I just told him that, buddy, please mind your own business, just get me this. And he was like, tongue in his mouth, and I was like,
I had people coming, like I would like 10, 12 years old. I remember this one time I was walking down the street, and this guy who was standing outside some chemist or something, and he's like, son, come here, come here. I'm going to him like like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And he's like, can I tell you something? You need to lose weight. I'm like, okay. I have no idea who this guy is.
excuse me, who are you?
Who are you
Can you
again?
pay
Do you
my
know who I
rent?
am? You need to lose weight. This is not good. And just walk, eat less. I'm like, okay.
It's so easy to tell someone that please eat less. I mean, do you even know what that person is going through or what that
So
person's
this is something that I realized, Lulu. I was telling you on the phone also the other
mm,
day. Like I could be a cokehead. I could be shooting heroin in my arm at
mm,
7 o'clock at night till 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I can go to work and lead a decent normal life, and you would not know the
mm,
difference.
correct.
That is also an addiction. I could be
Mm,
addicted to whatever. I could be a shopaholic, like people who shop
yeah,
excessively. There are people like that as well.
there are, yeah, yeah.
There are functioning alcoholics who will drink till they black out in the night, and then they lead a normal life in the morning. Nobody is the wiser. Nobody knows the difference. Food addiction is the only addiction. I was like, even I'm right now, even I'm a food addict. I feel like I can overdo. Not physically
Mm,
now, I can't because I've lost my weight and I can't. I get sick now because I can't eat.
yeah, correct.
But I know I'm a food addict. It just
Mm,
I just need 3 4 months, bad months, and I'm back.
mm,
I'm back. Like even now, I check my weight every morning because I still have nightmares of becoming fat. I still
correct.
crack fat jokes on myself. I still crack because in my head I'm fat. I look at
Mm,
clothes and I know that this will not fit me because in my head I'm still a large XL but I fit into smalls.
Hmm.
But who tells that 14, 17-year-old kid is still stuck in my head?
That age, that age is so
So now let me just
painful when
finish. So that being fat and being a food addict is the thing that you can see from a mile away,
correct, correct, absolutely.
right? And other
Right.
addictions and other weaknesses and whatnot, whatever people think of as
Hmm.
weaknesses, can be hidden. Unfortunately, this cannot be. And this is
Yeah.
what, and society has a
And
free pass to tell you whatever the
shamed
hell
it,
they want to.
and society has shamed it in every possible way.
But then sometimes I feel it is obviously unhealthy, right?
It is definitely unhealthy, but you cannot walk up to people and tell them eat less or walk. It's none of your business.
True, but how,
Yeah.
like, what happened? How, when I look at, say, sometimes even I've seen people like who are morbidly obese. Okay,
Hmm.
I so want to walk up to them and tell them, okay, guys, you can do this. There's no magic pill, obviously, but you can lose the weight. How would you approach it? How would you approach that? So
Very
now, say,
honestly,
now you look at somebody.
hmm.
Okay, let's. Do you want to talk about what the surgery that you had and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I had a bariatric surgery
Okay.
around 2 months back,
And
and
just for people who don't know what bariatric surgery
yeah.
is, can you
So
explain?
bariatric is basically they like cut your stomach into like two parts,
Okay.
and they so I still have the normal stomach, but they've stitched up like a part of it. So like I have, so if my stomach is like this much, now it's like this much, and they have attached all my intestines to that small stomach. So you are eating less to what you were eating previously. Okay,
So
so
physically, they have reduced your
appetite,
stomach appetite physically. It's not a
yes,
mental thing. It's
physically,
physically. So even if you want to
physically,
eat a plate of food,
I
you
cannot.
cannot. Physically, you cannot. You will
Although
puke.
mentally I want to eat one full pizza, physically I cannot eat more than one piece, probably one slice. I can't
You
because my
can't,
stomach
like,
won't allow. Uh, Very honestly, I was very mentally prepared before doing this. I am not. I don't get angry.
you don't have a, you kind of, you've
No,
accepted this now.
I have accepted. And remember, before doing this, also, I took a lot of time. I took a lot of time to get ready mentally because you cannot just jump into this being unprepared.
And so when you say how, what did you do to
Do to
prepare
prepare
mentally?
myself. So there was a lot of self-talk, Mamubhai, where I was motivating myself
How?
by doing a positive talk. You know,
So what was that? Go
by
through
talking
a
positive to
go
myself,
through a
saying that
positive talk right now.
so probably just the fact that okay, I really want to do, I really want to bungee jump. I really
Okay.
want to skydive. Okay, I can't do anything with this weight,
Right.
any of this. So
Right.
I was like, okay, probably I'll lose the weight and probably I'll go bungee jump in Dubai, or skydive in Dubai, or bungee jump from New Zealand, or it was a lot of positive talk. So thinking about the other 10 years of my life where
But
I
it's
would
not
weigh
10. It's going to be
110.
another. You're only, what, 30 right now?
Yeah, 30. But I'm just saying that
Yeah, it's
if
like,
probably I were to live till what 40, probably I'm living till say 70. Grace, a healthier life where I can be, more with my family, like their children, of course.
because that is also something that, is it something that you
In
want?
society,
Do you
there
want
is
to
no
have kids or do you don't want to have kids?
no. I do want to have kids.
And were you trying to have kids?
I was actively trying to have kids, but then I have been to multiple doctors, and the only issue was the weight.
And why?
Like
How is that?
everything,
I don't understand that. What does the weight have to do with
the
not you
weight,
not being
what is
able to bear a
happening is
child?
there is no space for the fetus to grow because
Is
there's a
that
lot of
right?
fat around the pelvic. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
there's a
didn't
lot of
know
fat around
that.
the pelvic. Yeah. So there's a lot of fat around the pelvic. So
So the
the
pelvis region,
chances of
basically, there's so much
developing
fat around the pelvis region that there is no.
because that is my problem area, Mumbai.
Oh, because you are big
I'm the
around
fair,
that.
I'm the fair, yes, I
Right.
am the fair figure. So that's my problem, right? So I have a lot of weight on my hips and my thighs and my pelvis. So that's my problem area. Otherwise, if you see women who are fat
Overweight.
or obese, who conceive, it's not that they do not, but then the health risk increases a lot. See, right now, touch wood, alhamdulillah, I don't have diabetes, I don't have thyroid, I don't have any of
The
these
thing is,
medical
if you
diseases.
had, but if you had been that weight for another 5 years, you would have gotten all of that.
Yes, if everything would have come in, everything would have come in. Like I'm just saying, no, yet I don't have any of these lifestyle diseases yet. But if I conceive in this weight, okay, I would get diabetes, I would get thyroid, all of the risk factors, and then
Okay, so
and
tell
then
me
things will be.
so Lulua, how heavy were you at your biggest?
I was 164 kilos.
Kilos. Okay, so can I just put that
Yeah,
into pounds? Because that's you are out up there, Lulua.
yeah,
Wow. So around 370 pounds.
yes.
Yeah.
And all this weight
And
I've
how tall are
gained in
you?
a matter of 4 months.
Okay, how tall are you?
I am 5'4". So my ideal weight has to be around 56, tops 60 kilos.
Kilos, and you are basically 100 kgs overweight.
So basically, I'm like two more people in this body of
Oh
mine.
my God.
So I have to remove two people from my body to
So,
get one.
I was at my biggest. I think I was around 260 pounds. So around
Hmm.
110 kgs at my biggest. And I'm not that. I'm
Really?
not.
Oh,
Yeah,
110 is your biggest? Really, Mumbai?
yeah. You think I was smaller or bigger?
I'm bigger.
Really?
Really?
Maybe
What are you thinking,
115.
Mumbai?
Maybe 115. I'll show you. Recently saw somebody sent me some pictures of myself.
From UK when you and Fatima Ben went, I think that time you were like
Oh,
fat,
I
Mumbai.
was huge at that time also.
You guys were in the 12th standard, I think, when you and Fatima Ben went to Faida Aunties for the first time.
Yeah, look at this, Lulua.
Oh, Mumbai, you look more than 110, very
I
honestly.
was more than 110 then. Look at this, Mike. Look at the size. I was 19 years old at that time.
Mumbai, oh my, who's this baby, by the way?
This is a kid and this is in Toronto, and I just come to Toronto, and this was somebody who lives here.
I don't remember you looking like this, Mumbai.
Well, I
I think
was,
this was the time when you came to Toronto, and I think
this
you
was the
were,
time. So I was
yeah.
around 19 years old. I'm 38 right now. I'll
Hmm.
turn 38 tomorrow, but this is when I was 19. It was
Hmm.
big, man.
My
It
God.
was big.
So no, yeah, Mumbai. I mean, you look way better now.
Obviously, I know I feel
And
better.
yeah, you look like a small boy. You don't look 38. I mean, no,
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 I
no.
took my beard off. I usually have a beard. I like 3 days ago I was in some kind of a mood, and I'm like, I haven't taken my beard off in years, and I was just curious to
Yeah,
see
you
my
look like
face.
a small kid when you don't have a beard. I think you
I
look
know
like
I
a
look so young.
yeah, you look too young.
Yeah, and I feel different as well. But this is this was my picture I had taken. Like I had come from a workout, and I'd
Ah,
sent this to my trainer,
yeah. Ah.
and this is what I
I
look
think you
like.
look good with a beard, huh, Mumbai. You should have
I think I look much better with a beard.
like nice with your beard.
I definitely look much better with my beard. I don't like myself without the beard actually. So even I realize this is a final experiment. I'm not going to go back.
What does Tommy have to say about this?
She thinks that she's like, oh, I got that nostalgic Mamdu back.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
yeah,
when we got together, when I didn't have a beard, when I actually didn't even have I would not even get a full beard before. So
yeah.
she got that back. So, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna grow it out again.
So I'll tell you something, Mumbai. You were also very much responsible for making my life hell. Now ask why.
Why?
Because you went to Toronto and you happen to lose all this weight, and then I'm like, oh my god, and my mom.
Arey, but you know when I lost that weight, Lulua? You know when I lost that weight?
Yeah,
This was 6 years after, when I was
yeah,
25.
yeah. I know. But then, yeah, but still, you were 25, but I was still, what, I don't know.
Yeah, so 18, 19 years old, right?
Yeah. So I was like, oh my god, this. And then you did that. And then when Hussein went to Toronto, again, Hussein also lost weight and he also came back like one stick. And then Mustansir. And then Mustansir also lost weight. I'm like, oh my god, so much of pressure. I can't handle now.
Because we were the only fat kids, like three
Yeah.
brothers and you.
Yeah. And me. And now the brothers were thin and I was still the fat kid.
Oh my god. I can imagine. But the good thing is Hussein and Mushi gained the weight back, so we're like, okay, now we are back.
So, okay, I'm not the only fat one now. And she's really working hard to lose weight.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
She
a,
has this.
it is really, it is what I realize now, it is a life. It is not like one thing that you do once
Yeah, I
for
think
3,
it's
6
it's it's a
months.
it's a it's a constant effort and it's a constant lifestyle which you need to follow.
Yeah, it is, and something like I used to like. There was a mental switch that happened a few months ago.
Hmm.
Uh, that I've been working out even with my trainer for the last 3 years, on and off, on and off, on and off. But now in the
Hmm.
last year or so, I've been going consistently. But in the last 3, 4, 5 months, I had that mental switch where I look at my workouts
Hmm.
as not punishment for eating or punishment because I still drink. I love drinking. When I say
Hmm.
when it sounds bad that I love drinking, but I love to have a good drink. Okay.
But it's okay, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. I'm 38. I'd like if,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah.
some I would not say it out loud because I would be, oh, what if somebody hears from parts of our family also, people who would be offended if I'm sure they know also, but
Yeah.
now
Yeah. It's
I'm almost 40. Yeah, where if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's fine. I understand.
true.
And like, what am I hiding from who?
Completely agree.
Okay, if you don't like it, I understand you don't like it. You're religious, and I should not be drinking because I'm Muslim and this and that. You know what? I don't know if you know this, Lulua. I'm an atheist.
Yes, I know Mumbai. I think I know it from the very
Yeah,
beginning.
I've not been even that. I've not had the guts to say it out to people because even that, I almost like
I don't
I've.
know why everybody knows this.
Everybody knows this. Good, because I
No,
feel
no,
like
Mumbai. Everyone knows this. Mumbai, you are living under a rock.
good. I'm so relieved, kind of a thing. Does it like really people know it? Like I'm so happy because I feel that
People really know it. You are living under a rock. I'm telling you, people know it. Everybody knows it.
because I'm so anti-religion, any kind of religion now. I'm so like not. It's weird. I should not say anti-religion. I'm like I don't care. Anybody can do anything. There.
Yeah,
Sophie is
yeah, of course,
religious.
yeah. It's just your perspective of
Yeah,
how
I
to
don't
follow.
like doing all of that. Like going to masjid, and I get angry physically. I get angry when I do that. When I pray. Can you believe it? Like I'm like, but I've not had the
So I
guts to
think
even say that to people.
each to its own, Mumbai.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you. I think you have just one life, and you have the entire right to live it the way you want to live it.
And
Be
as
it
long as I feel that
religious, be it
even
non-religious.
now, thinking of it like as long as I'm not stopping anybody else from doing what they want to do,
Exactly. It's
and I'm not telling
nobody
anybody
should.
to do, and in my head, I was so like, I would have to kind of like, I would not say it out loud because, especially with our family and stuff like that, and knowing
Mm,
how people are so religious.
correct.
I don't know how religious you are, Lulu, probably not as much as other people in the family.
Not as much, but yes, where it is like I pray three
Yeah.
times a day.
Oh, you do all of
The
that. Okay, I'm
everything,
like,
everything.
for me, like,
It's there.
I,
But I don't wear a rida everywhere. I am not that.
yeah.
Like I wear a rida when I go to the masjid and things like that.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
like I'm like completely. I don't. I want to be when I die. I
Mm.
want to be cremated. I don't even want to be buried. I like. Yeah.
Why cremated?
I don't know. There's a finality to cremation. I feel.
Okay.
cremation is there a finality to it. When you bury somebody, not that it's that after I die, what do I care, right? Like I don't even believe in an afterlife. Like my thing is like it's like when you die, it's off. There's no like your spirits.
There is no, like, there is, anyway in Islam, there is no afterlife. This is the
Yeah, but
last.
anyways, like for me, I'm there's no my
Yeah,
spirit in my thoughts are not living anywhere. It's like gone. I'm gone.
yeah,
Because I look at myself like me and a chicken are kind of the same thing. We're just different
yeah,
beings,
species.
species, but I'm no more important than that chicken that is roaming or that rat who's roaming on the street. I'm just one more different species. And if that rat's soul is not going somewhere, my soul is also not going somewhere. Because we are almost like I just happen to be a little more intelligent and a little more dexterous than the rat.
But then you never really know now what happens once you die. So you
I
really
don't
don't
know.
know what is happening. And nobody's come back after dying, so nobody knows.
Yeah, you're right as well. So you know you don't. But I want to be cremated. I want a finality to my thing.
So write it in your will and go then.
I don't think I'm. My will is like I've given my will to Sophie also like to not written it down, but I've told like when I'm if I'm in like an ICU or something, like
Hmm.
wait 1 or 2 days, pull the plug after that. Don't do any magajmari. Like I'm done. I'm good to go. I've had a good life. I listen to this. I've listened to this one podcast. You know Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Hmm? He has a podcast now, and that Mike
Hmm.
Tyson who was this crazy boxer and this and that
Boxer.
and world
And then
champion.
he converted to Islam and he became
He converted to Islam and all of that, but now he's like a super chill guy now. He's one of the wisest people that you'll ever hear in your life, and he doesn't seem like that when you look at him. But he's like, if I die today, life has been so good to me that I have to write a check to life, saying like I owe life things.
hmm, 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 hmm.
My life has
Correct.
been so good. Like, even I feel that somehow that I have to write. If I die today, I have to write a check back to life. In the same that I owe to life. Life has given me so much, and I feel super blessed.
think we are fortunate enough to be where we are today. Like, everything said and done, life has given a lot of things to me also. Like, I will not, so I never regret on anything I do in my life. I've never regretted being fat. I've never regretted the surgery. I'm not even regretting this process where I'm losing weight. I've lost around 21 kilos in the past 2 months.
Around
So
50
I'm
pounds,
slowly
right?
getting, yeah, around 50 pounds. So slowly getting there. Because the aim is to, like reduce the weight in a healthy manner, in a way where I can get stronger rather than getting weak. Because see, to run a body which is 370 pounds requires a lot of calorie. So
My
suddenly
God.
the calorie intake has like boom bam stop.
Yeah.
Like a hard, if
How many calories are you eating a day now? 500, 800 calories?
maybe around 1,000, 1,500.
Oh, still you are eating 1,050. So you are making it a point to eat 1,000, 1,500, or you are just eating whatever you're eating, and that is 1,000,
No, I'm
1,500.
eating whatever I'm eating.
And
Because what happens is now that there's a lot of giddiness happening, and I feel like dizzy, and there's a lot of weakness which happens is post the surgery. So that is normal. It will happen for the next 2, 3 more months. So your body also needs to get used to the pattern you are feeding it with now. So previously your body was used to eating large meals at one go. Now your body is not getting those large meals at one go. Now it's getting, say, one fourth of that portion every 2 hours. So the body
wow.
is also, bloody confused that what the hell are you doing with me?
Because you've done
So
this for years and years and years, and now suddenly you stop.
yeah, for all these years you've been feeding me till I was going to explode, and now you have suddenly just stopped doing all this. Like what the hell is wrong with?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
this is
am.
also a sign of your body, just not really supporting you at times, and just behaving very weird. So yeah,
How's
so
that?
yeah,
How's that? Does Ali Bhai, because Ali Bhai is also on the bigger side, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So your Ali Bhai is your husband. And how does
yeah.
now, does he have any pressure to lose the weight with you?
So he was, so he was telling me that after like I lost like say 10, 15 kilos, so it was quite visible, like on my jawline and stuff. So
Yeah,
I had
just
like started developing, yeah, I had started developing like a double chin, lately, and. So now what
Before the
has
surgery.
yeah, before the surgery. So now what has happened is, I've got like much chiseled jawline, and
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
like my face has become like flatter. So he now he tells me that I have to learn boxing because now I need to box everybody around me. So I think
Ah,
I think he does have a pressure because now. So previously, when we used to go out, we both were fat, right? So we both complemented each other. Now suddenly, if I'm losing the weight, okay. So he will also definitely have that pressure where he also will probably have to get little down, and he has lost weight with me without the surgery because I have stopped eating bread. Okay, I don't eat rice. I'm not eating bread. I'm not eating meth. I'm not eating refined flour. That is maida.
yeah.
So I'm not eating sugar. So these things have automatically cut down on his diet as well.
Yeah, because he's
Okay.
not eating differently than you.
He's not eating different. I'm not making anything different, right? I don't have the time. So, so I'm just like he's eating whatever I'm eating. So that has helped him also to reduce like weights. We both are monitoring our weight, and even if he is losing the weight, he also feels difference. Previously we used to get so tired, just walk a little, and you
Obviously,
know,
can you
yeah, it was like
imagine to move that big of a body? I
it was very difficult.
I was working out recently, and there are these weighted vest. Okay,
Yeah.
so I wore a 20 pound weighted vest. Now I've lost around in my head. So I think now that calculation might be wrong. Maybe 120, 130 pounds as well.
Mm,
Okay,
mm, mm.
which is what 60, 70 kgs, 60 kgs maybe. And now just putting a 20 pound vest on me and doing something, it was exhausting. It was
Yes,
exhausting. I couldn't wait to remove that thing. It was
correct.
I thought that I was just being pushed down.
Yeah. So
And
imagine like walking with this weight each day, day in, day out. And I teach, right? So my job is like constantly standing on my feet the whole day
how
long.
would you do it though?
So very honestly, I could do it. Okay. But then this lockdown happened because of the COVID scenes and stuff. That's where I actually gained a lot of weight again.
So
Maybe
you are
10 to
now
15
like for
kg.
anybody who's watching it, and if we actually put it up, you are in India, you're in Mumbai, India. That's where you live,
Yeah.
right, with your family. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why. So during the lockdown, you were still teaching from home.
I was 101% still teaching from home. In fact, I was working more than what I worked when I used to go to physically to school. So, everybody was like, oh, we've enjoyed the lockdown. We watched Netflix. We watched this. Oh my, I have not seen a single thing because, overnight, the entire school teaching scenario just changed. And how? We had to get onto technology. We had to
Right.
train the children to get onto technology. We had to train the parents to get
Right, to
onto
monitor
technology,
them and stuff like that, right? What's
monitor
going?
them. We had attendance problems, parents were not coming. There were like thousands of things happening.
And tell me, like Lulu, that was very one interesting thing that you said was like the lockdown did a lot of good things for your career.
Yes, so
Ah,
yes,
so tell me
definitely
that
lockdown did
and
a lot
why.
of things for my career because in a normal school scenario setting, what happens is that there are teachers who've been with the organization for a very long time. People know their set skills, okay, and then there are people who judge you because a particular way you look. Okay, see, I'm not saying that anybody is judging me or anything, but I'm just
But this there is an
pointing out
implicit bias that is associated with you being fat.
yeah, yeah, that's the bias
There
which
is a
is
bias.
associated with fat. That is the fact about it. Maybe when you look at me, the first thing you not notice is whether I have short hair, long hair, or my eyes are what color. You will notice that I am a fat person who's walking towards you.
And then you could be the
But
most talented singer, dancer, painter, this, that, but you are first, you are fat.
but I'm fat, yes. So regardless of whatever I am, first thing you'll notice is I'm fat. So no blame gaming or no blaming or no shaming anybody. That's how it is. So what happened was that when the opportunity came, where you had to, be in at home and do things, so whether it was technology related or whether it was anything, giving lessons, doing remote lessons and stuff. So a lot of good things happened to me is because my skills were highlighted in the sense that technology. Okay, so I'm very good with technology. So I was made the tech mentor in my school. I
Wow.
used to take workshops. Yeah, I took workshops to train the children how to make train the children as well as teachers
And
how
that
to make.
also, the children also take you more seriously because now they are not seeing you, they're
Yeah.
seeing just your skills.
Yes, yes, that's what. And I have parents messaging me and telling me that they really like the way I teach because when I used to send them lessons, so I English and social studies. So English teaching English remotely is so difficult because there are like thousands of concepts. You have to take care of the grammar, you have to take care of the pronunciations, and there are so many things which go into these things. So I used to record my voice over PowerPoint presentations. I used to
Wow.
make PowerPoint presentations, record my voice over them, and send it to them.
Wow.
So they had a teacher who had a voiceover in the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, while they read the PowerPoint presentation. So there was nowhere where they were lacking on any explanation, be it grammar, be it comprehension, be it a prose, be it a poem, anything.
And I think people don't realize this, that especially our Indian system of education,
Mm.
we have a much more thorough understanding of the English language because it is taught to us almost as a first language, but because it is a second and third, really English
Yes,
for us is like
yes,
a second, third language that we use as a first language.
correct. So there is to teach is also a different ball game altogether because you have to learn the syntax of the language, you have to learn the pronunciations, the phonics. So if you open a dictionary, you will find these some. You find the
The
words,
words, the
and
way
then you
made
find
it,
this.
the
Correct.
phonetically how they kind of, you have to say, spell it,
Yeah.
right?
So those are. So I know how to read those
Really?
because yes, because that's how you pronounce that word. That's the pronunciation of the word.
Okay.
So yeah, so nobody will realize this, that okay, I can read that, or I can do that.
And because what happens is they are seeing this 370-pound person, and that is all
Yeah,
they see.
yeah, that is all they see. And then
And somehow I feel
anything.
that you can't even blame them, right?
Yeah, you cannot. Yeah, and you remember at one point of time in my life, I was like, okay, I am not going to reduce it. I am going to be the way I am. I am happy like this. I am going to be this way. If you want me in your life, you have to accept me the way I am. Otherwise, the
Lulu,
door is
I'm
open. You
this
can leave.
this thing I had never had. Huh? I
Yeah.
and I remember maybe you said it to me once, or somebody else told me this about you, that Lulu is super comfortable in a weight, and I'm like, no, she can't be, because in my head, like, I wasn't, right, so she can't
Yeah,
be,
yeah,
because my reality
yeah,
was very different. So I'm like, and as a fat person, my reality was like, I didn't like myself. I would cry at night, like I didn't know what to do. I would sleep every night as like a 15, 17-year-old kid, hoping that when I wake up in the morning I'll be thin. I had like dreams like that, like I would wish, please, please, please make me thin in the morning, like as a 17-year-old
yeah.
kid. So I thought, like, how can Lulua be happy with this?
No, I was very happy with it. Whatever I told you, you said it completely correctly.
Crazy. I could not believe it. I was like, no, no, you can't. So I'm
I
sure
was
there are
very
people like
open.
this also, right? Over there. I'm sure there are people like you also, right?
Yeah, yeah, there are.
So happy fat people. And I was a sad fat
I don't know
person.
if they're happy. I don't know if they're happy, or I don't know if they were comfortable, but
Accepted?
I was. And I was happy.
Accepted? What is it exception of? Like, you accepting yourself, like, this is who I am? I'm fine with it.
The day you accept you are a certain way, okay, be it anything, okay, be it you are, bald, be it you are fat, be it you wear specs, be it you don't have a hand or a limb. The minute you accept yourself the way you are, life really gets easy from there on because you have one less thing to worry about.
You're right.
Okay, so you
I did
love
not have that
yourself.
maturity though for the longest time.
You love yourself. You love yourself the way you are. So Now, what others think of you is their fucking problem, not yours. So you let them think of what they want to think about you. And I'm telling you, everybody stopped telling me to reduce weight after one point of time because they knew that it would affect me, Jack. Like nobody, nobody told me anymore.
I think, yeah,
After
because also that point is also for them. They've been, I think, especially in the family, I think they've exhausted like "अब आने के फर्क नहीं पड़ा." Like it
exactly
doesn't
that
matter to her.
आने का फर्क है નથી કરી રહ્યો
Yeah.
તો શું કામ આપણે બોલીને આપણું જ મુખ ખરાબ કરીએ and I am telling you I am openly accepting it yes like ખરેખર ફરક નહોતો પડી રહ્યો like I didn't give a shit about anything. Yes, I like to eat butter. Yes, I like to eat cheese. Yes, I will eat it.
And
Yes,
whatever
I will
happens,
die in
happens.
probably another 10 years. Okay.
Wow.
So, because see, actually, what used to happen in Mamu Bhai, when I was not confident in myself, no, I couldn't give my best at work. And that used to show. So when that started happening, I kind of was getting pulled down. My morale and everything was dying. You know, I eventually kept blaming everything on the fact that because I'm fat, they did this to me, or because I was, I don't look a certain way, they didn't give me this chance to, lead a team, or things like that.
But it was
So
you are victimizing yourself.
it was my insecurities, nothing on them.
Acha. You were just this was
Nothing on
your internal dialogue.
my internal dialogue, nothing on anybody. It was my internal dialogue. Because once you are confident, okay, you can do anything. You can lead anybody.
Right. Nobody's stopping you.
Nobody's stopping me. Nobody's telling. And in fact, if any organization would be happy to have people who are confident and who do the job well. Who wouldn't want? Who wouldn't want that?
True.
So that was it. And to
So that
get to
was
this
after you
level,
accepted yourself, though.
yes, you have to. I think, however you are, and I think I'm saying this for everyone, be it anything, be it any disorder or any disease or anything, you know,
Abnormality, whatever that abnormality
yeah,
is.
abnormality or whatever you want to fit into or whatever bracket you are weird, you are, however you are, you know, I think just being confident in yourself.
With your exceptions, which are considered negative.
Correct. Which
So,
others think is, not fitting into the normal society norms. So I'm nowhere promoting that okay, eat more, become fat or anything. No, it's not healthy. You will have a lot of health issues. You will face a lot of things. I'm not saying that, but you are fat already. Now, what are you supposed to do?
whatever. And I kind of,
You have to.
I had this realization with not with, I could never accept the fact that I was fat. I was
Hmm.
always weird about that. Now I think I'm getting used to my new self after 10, 12 years of being
Hmm.
relatively thin. I'm kind of accepting that new part of me. But I figured that what, like work wise for me, my work has been little helper that what I've been doing for the last 10, 12 years of my life. It has basically been that big thing that I'm trying to do
Hmm.
outside of myself, trying to build this business and a community, a company, whatnot. And last few years I knew my deficiencies, okay, and I've been trying to make it better. Like I want to make it better. Like I'm a very creative person by nature. I didn't know that up until very recently. If money and my money is okay, if I had like a choice, if I could do anything in the world, I
Hmm.
would still probably do business, but I would spend a significant amount of my time just learning things. That is who I am.
Hmm.
I want to read poetry, I want to learn poetry, I want to learn languages, I want to tell stories, I want to hear stories. That is who I am.
Yeah.
but I could not pursue that stuff when I was younger, or I did not even have the presence of mind to pursue that stuff. Now I'm who I am, where I am. But and I would always try and improve on my deficiencies. But now I'm like, okay, you know what? This is who I am. I'm a person who I'm not a good manager of people. I've told my people who work with me, I've told them I'm not a good manager. So if I'm not going to reach out to you and say, how are things? If you need me, come to me because I have a lot of anxiety around reaching out to people.
Correct. Yeah.
I have a lot of anxiety. Like that, I know there are missed calls and I have to call people up, and that gives me a lot of anxiety. That's who I am. That's who I am now. I will sometimes not talk to my own parents for sometimes a month or something because I
Yeah.
just gives me anxiety. And I can't explain it to them,
Mm.
but I've come to accept it, that that is who I am, unfortunately. But if you are with me, I'll give you my full attention. I'll give you my full
And that's the
interest.
problem now, Mumbai, that people don't ask or don't communicate or don't talk. So how will you know? You
Yeah.
know, if you have this anxiety, if someone needs you, if they will not come to you, will you get a dream that okay, they have a problem?
And somehow it's my fault as well, but I also because I feel that if I tell this to somebody that I'm anxious person, like people don't think of me that way. I don't know. I don't think anybody has knows any idea how much anxieties I have. I'm a very anxious person. Like I before exams and stuff, like when I was growing up, I used to literally cry.
Mm.
I would get so overwhelmed, I would cry. Like I've written my 12th standard exams. For the first half hour, my hand was like this. I had to hold my hand and write. That is how anxious I am. But when I say this to somebody, they say, "Oh my God, you were so confident and this." I was just faking all of that.
Yeah, yeah,
I was just
exactly.
faking it.
Or you cannot exactly you cannot show everything, then people will start taking advantage of you.
And also in something when growing up in India, those were people. This is one thing I realized. I was having a haircut, uh,
Mm,
and there was this guy who was cutting my hair, African American gentleman.
mm,
And while he was cutting my hair, I was like just saying, "What were you going to?" This was like pre-COVID, like
mm,
last year or even before that. And like,
mm, mm,
what are you going to like? What's your plan for the weekend? Just general chit chat. Oh, I'm playing golf.
mm,
Like, oh wow, you play golf. I
mm,
said you play golf. Yeah, man. Like this is like how did you start playing golf? And he's like, oh, something that I was not good at. And a buddy of mine said, hey, I'm gonna like. He said he challenged me that I can't play golf, and I said, I'll figure it out. So I've learned how to play like that. No, that's amazing, man. Yeah,
mm.
he was telling me like how growing up he used to live in a neighborhood where people around him, if you're not good at something, they will figure out a way to teach it to you.
Oh, that was really nice, eh?
That's amazing, right? So
Yeah,
like he
that's
was like,
amazing.
I was a short kid. He was telling me I was a short kid growing up, and there were people who would play basketball, and I was not good at it. So literally, older guys would teach me how to play basketball because they wanted me to participate. And I'm like, wow, man, how lucky you are. Because growing up in India, there are so you had he had people around him who figured out, hey, this is he's there's a weakness. Let's figure out a way to eliminate that
Overcome.
weakness. And for us, whatever our weakness was our calling
It was
card.
highlighted on a bloody billboard and stuck on your head. That okay, this is a problem. I know, I
So,
relatable.
so if you are fat, hi. If you
Mm.
like Mansur Mama had a
Camel.
stutter,
Yeah,
so that stutter became his calling card. I remember everybody would talk about that stutter all the time, growing
yeah,
up.
yeah.
And that was his thing, right? That like, oh my God, what will happen to Mansur if he doesn't figure out that stutter? Again, this was the you were I'm much older than you, so I remember those conversations that people had.
Yeah, I don't know this.
You don't know this, but I know this conversation that had happened around me. Your weakness became your calling card.
And you know, a lot of times parents don't realize when they talk in front of their kids, but kids are smart. And smart as kids like us understand everything.
I think all kids understand everything, but we were also like smarter than possibly. But like, yeah, Lulua, even that I was just thinking about. Like as a child growing up, I was exposed to so many things that I should not have been exposed to, conversations that should not have happened around me.
Hmm.
I did not have the sense to process those conversations. I was just sitting there
And
and nobody asked me to leave. I'm
you
sitting
are just
there.
kind of I don't know. I'm hypnotized. I don't know how to put it in English, but you just kind of okay. You're taking in, and you don't know how to process. So
You don't
things
know.
become very normal for you at one point of time, and then things don't affect you anymore because already heard it done.
But the thing is, you need to process it
Yeah.
because otherwise, those things remain, I don't know, stuck in your head. It becomes something like almost like there's a constipation in your mind, maybe that needs to be let out.
Hmm.
Because I feel these are tangles that get more and more tangled up. Like these are string knots that just become like more difficult to open up. I don't know. Like I've somehow like these weird things. Now that and not that I think our parents or anybody, our older people around us, nobody had did it out of spite. They didn't know better either.
Of course. And I think everybody wants the best for their child. So even if people from our family would tell me that oh I need to lose the weight and all, they said it eventually because they cared and they loved me. I mean, why would anybody say anything to anybody?
Right.
They said it because they loved me. They said it because they cared for me and things like that. But sometimes you have to understand where to stop.
I think they didn't
But
know. A lot of people didn't know, right?
yeah, a lot of people don't know when to. You know, you have to quit telling someone at a family function that they're looking fat. I mean, that's the last thing you want to hear.
How does that help
You come from
anybody?
home all
How
dressed
does that
up.
help anybody?
I don't know. You have ruined that night for that person completely. Okay, now that child will not probably
So you were
meet
told that as a child?
anybody or some. Huh?
You were told that as a child?
I have constantly been told like that. Mumbai as a child, I have constantly been told.
So you're all dressed
Uh,
up, looking, trying to look pretty, this, that, and the other. You're wearing
yeah,
makeup,
I
and
have to look pretty, and the minute they someone, તું આજે જરા વધારે જાડી લાગી રહી છે. Like you're looking like more fatter than what you were used to look previously. So it's very, it was very heart wrenching to
I
then
know.
I would really hate coming to the family functions. Weddings were like a nightmare because what will I wear and how will I look good?
And there are random people who will walk up to you and just basically ruin your night. And you don't know where that bomb is going to
And
burst,
when you
right?
sit in the car, okay, and then you'll be like getting looks of everybody because you are probably eating two spoons more than what another
Or even that
person
even if you're not eating, that perception that oh she's going to eat a lot because you're fat.
Mumbai, I'll tell you one incident that happened to me. I was in 10th standard.
Ah,
Okay.
like 15,
See,
16 years
now
old.
this incident, Mama Bhai, has stuck with me in my head so badly that I cannot forget it, Mama Bhai. It's So I was in my 10th standard, and one of my friend invited us for his sister's birthday party. Okay, and there were chicken lollipops on the menu. I love chicken lollipops. Okay, I love eating them. I happen to I happen to eat more than what the other
Kids were having.
girls ate. My other friends ate. So I saw them, passing us sneaky looks. That okay, but she's eating like so much. Okay, that was okay. That was done. Then in the next 2 weeks, what happened was there was this banter going around. And this was in my tuition class. Okay, 10th standard tuition class. They were discussing on what to wear in a party, and I was lost because I didn't know what was happening. So I asked a friend of mine that whose party are you all talking about? So she's like a specific girl. She's invited us for her birthday party, and she was like, she's not told you. I'm like, no, she not invited me. She invited the tuition teacher and the sir too, but she didn't invite me, and we were in the same batch. Okay, so of course I felt bad about it. But then you have to show na sakti. You can't show na that you felt bad about
Yeah,
it.
you
Now you
can't you
have to
can't show
show.
that weakness.
Yeah, you have to be like, okay, big shit if she's already booked.
Yeah,
Like,
like I don't care either.
not my problem. Not my problem. Okay? So this happened, and then my friend, he happened to ask that girl that, why didn't you call her? You know, and I was actually getting down the stairs, and they had already come down, and they were standing near the lift, and I was taking the stairs and coming down. So they didn't see me coming down, and I happened to hear my name. So I stopped on the stair, thinking that let me just listen to what they were saying. So I was eavesdropping basically, which I shouldn't have, but probably I
Yeah,
did
obviously
that.
you're also a kid, right? Obviously.
You wouldn't know any better, right? So she was like, okay, okay, you've seen her, no? She eats so much, and there are, I will be calling, there'll be other guys who are going to come, and I don't want them to know that I have friends like her. Plus, the return gifts which I'm going to give would never come in her size. So I waited for them to go, and I was devastated. I was like, oh my god, what have I heard? I thought that I should have just come down and not heard this at all. But yeah, definitely these things, they do take a toll on you. You are not included in things like these, and they tell you that you are eating too much. Or imagine a 16-year-old girl already low on self confidence, already being body shamed by everybody,
Yeah, free
and
for all. It's
suddenly,
a free for all.
yeah, free of. If you can just, okay, you're fine, okay, you can be body shamed, licensed to body shame. So that was like very I don't know. I still can't forget this incident. I
I
try
feel
to,
so sorry,
but
Lulu.
I cannot.
I
I
had
cannot.
a
I can forget everything else, but I cannot forget
so
this.
I'll tell
I
you
can never forget the
I'll
way
tell
she
you
made me feel.
I'll tell you a similar incident that happened with me.
Yeah,
And that was like something that kind of stuck with me for I haven't thought about it in a while, but since you brought it up, even I remembered it. We would have PT class. PT is physical training, which is for me
yeah,
was the
yeah.
worst class because now
Uh,
because we used to wear uniforms in school.
yeah.
Obviously, even I'm sure you also wore uniforms. Kids over here in North America don't wear uniforms unless they go to private school.
Hmm.
So most days were shirts and a tie. And during
Hmm.
PT, you would have to wear a t-shirt. Now, t-shirt are
I know.
cotton shirts
Body
that
fitting.
whatever they are freaking, I don't know why they are body fitting.
Yes, I
And
know.
I was really heavy on the chest, especially growing up like around 11, 12. I had literally I had breast shaped chest.
And boobs.
Man boobs were, I didn't even realize, but they were like real, like.
Okay.
And I'm wearing this. I'm in a new school in the seventh grade. Obviously trying to find my place and whatnot. I've been fighting with the guys because I could not be bullied because once you start getting bullied, then it's like a spiral.
Yeah, it's
Especially
like a
with guys,
spiral.
it gets really bad really fast. So I was fighting that. Okay, so I was trying to be like manly man, which I'm not. I think I have more feminine energy than manly energy anyway. So, but I was trying to kind of like trying to fight. Oh, I'm this and that and that. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm wearing this PT class t-shirt, t-shirt, which is like showing my chest more than it should or more than a shirt would. And I see these bunch of girls giggling over there, and I'm like,
Mm.
what's going on? I was like, because I want like, hey, is that a joke? I want to listen to it as well. And then somebody told me they're laughing because they think you have like boobs.
So the joke's on you.
No jokes on me and like on and like something that I could not help. At least I like, and that one incident prevented me from wearing a t-shirt for the next 12, 15 years of my life. Even now,
Mm.
obviously now I can put on anything. I can wear a t-shirt like it's no big deal. But even this very t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, when Sophie bought it for me, Sophie bought it for me. I did not wear it for the first year or so because my chest would show in a certain way. I was still carrying that baggage of that something that happened 25, 30 years ago, 25 years ago. And obviously the girls, they were also kids. They were like, they were not
Yeah,
doing.
of course. It's fun.
I
You
was not.
cannot actually blame kids. They you cannot basically.
Yeah,
But then nobody knows actually what one goes through.
yeah. So I don't know. How do you can society tell you if you are a fat person? Can somebody? How can somebody come and tell you that, Lulua, there is? Can somebody tell this to you? Can somebody
Yeah,
tell it to me?
I think they can. They can because see when someone tells you out of genuine concern or out of a genuine need that okay, see, we are worried for you. I think that's acceptable and that will show in their voice. You know, when
And maybe they
someone
will
tells you,
come with a plan as well. Like, let me help you with XYZ.
you just cannot bombard someone at a family function and tell them, sit here, and I'm going to give you a pep talk. No, bro, I'm not in the mood to listen to a
Have
pep
I
talk
given you
right now.
pep talks? I'm sure I've given you pep talks about losing weight. I'm 100% sure.
Oh my God, you haven't. You haven't.
Really?
Yeah, you
Even I'm
haven't.
surprised.
I think that is the reason why I like you because you haven't. I think I would hate you if you would have done that.
because because even I felt like I should reach out. I gave it's weird. I gave a pep talk to your dad very recently
Okay. Yeah.
because I heard your mom telling me that uh, કે Mois's business ને આમ ને તેમ ને or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe they might shut it down and Moise wants to go, like I want to send him to Dubai. And I called up Mustu uncle and I said, Mustu uncle, do not lose hope. Businesses take time to settle.
Yeah.
This is what you're going through is a normal phase of a business. Any successful business that you're seeing right now has gone through that phase. You need to
Correct.
persevere. And if you lose hope,
Mm.
your son is also going to lose hope. So you need to be that kind of that pusher.
And Papa no really like Gunu Manesha Tamne in the sense ki he's this one who has this strange affinity for you. I don't know
I
how
also
it
have it for
just
Mustu
loves
uncle.
getting yeah.
I also have it for
Loves
Mustu
getting
uncle. You have
irritated.
no idea. I love Mustu uncle
Yeah,
like
no,
nobody's
I know that.
business.
It's mutual and he just loves you so much. I think even mummy, I think for that matter.
Possibly, but I even more than I think Batlu aunty I've started liking and loving more recently. More
Mm,
recently, when I say more recently, 10, 15 years. But your
mm,
dad, to have loved him from the time I've met him, because he's always been so kind to me, Lulua. He's always been unimaginable. I think I have one of my best memories of my life with your dad. You were not even born at that time. He was,
yeah, probably. Yes, absolutely.
he was always been so kind to me and so generous with me. I can't imagine, like your dad has been amazing to me.
Mm,
I and I always have such a soft corner for Mustu uncle. Like I've seen him. Obviously, life has not been easy for him as
yeah,
well,
yeah,
the ups and
definitely. Yes,
downs and
I agree.
whatnot. But even through all of that, I knew Mustu uncle as an amazing person. I always had so much respect for him because I knew even when I remember when your mom was pregnant with you and then again with Moise as well. Tamil Kote time, but Bombay, you were living in Bombay at that time.
Yeah,
So he would tell me, he would whenever he would like, he was like, like please, Mohammed, you pray that I have a son like you, and I like something like that. Like he would tell me that constantly, and I didn't know, I had no concept of prayer or anything like that. Well, I knew
yeah,
what prayer was, but I like even at that time I didn't believe in it, and maybe and I was like, but I was like, dad was like, he used to take me around. He had an ambassador
yeah.
and a
That's
Mercedes back in
yeah.
the
I
day,
remember these.
and he used to take me driving in that. And Mustu uncle would be so kind to me and so generous and so gentle with me. One of my best memories of my childhood were with your dad. And And I called him up and I spoke to him. I was like hoping to kind of give something back to him that I had
Mm.
received from him several times. I don't know. I don't know if he got it or not, or if he thought that I was just because because sometimes you need to. I kind of look at life through what I've been through. So I feel that something people have to repeat it to me several times. So I was repeating it to him that you are a smart person, Mustafa. Moise is a smart person. I'm a smart guy. Please come back to me and ask me questions. Ask, I will help you in whatever capacity.
Correct.
And I was like, I hope that I don't know what happened, but I've
No,
done
I think they're not shutting anything down.
good.
It's
I'm
all good,
glad.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
I'm glad because I
Things are going fine, Alhamdulillah.
I think
No,
it's mostly perseverance with anything.
yeah. I think you have to just keep, you
At
know,
it,
hang in there.
and just like even with my business, I see that I should have shut down my business like 6 7 years ago
Hmm.
because it wasn't
No,
working.
but then I think it's only growing and it's growing in a good way. A lot of awareness. I see a lot of dupes around also. The concepts have come in India also
Which
with
one? Diapers.
the diapers. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cloth diapers and stuff.
I want to introduce it in India. My one of my goals this year is to basically 20. I want to do it in 2020, but 2020 was a washout. But actually, we had a good year. I should not say that. We had a very good
Hmm.
year in our business. Uh, so 2021, I want to take it to Europe. I want to Australia, New Zealand. I want to open up those markets. I want to figure out how to open up the Indian market.
So, Mama, that one thing is for sure. I already spoken to Ali about it. That if we have kids, I am going to tell customers that everything is coming from mobiles. They will help us,
I
but I'm
love
going to take
it.
everything from. I'm not going to pay one dime for it.
That that we'll have to discuss. That you'll have to work out a deal with me. I'm actually
Especially, I want the charcoal liners and
oh
I
my god.
want the bamboo
Have you seen the
diapers
new
and I
have you seen the
want.
new diapers that we've come out with? We've come out
I see everything. Mumbai, I see everything. I want the flamingo ones.
flamingo fluff and the have you seen the menstrual pads that we came out with?
No, that I haven't seen, Mumbai.
Yeah, we've come out with reusable menstrual pads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've come out
Okay,
with
so when
snack.
someone comes over to Canada, the next time you send one, I want to.
I'm gonna I have to actually send a bunch for like dad as well. Menstrual pads we've come out with, snack bags we've come out with. Oh my god.
Yeah, the bags I have seen, the beach bags and the snack
No,
bags.
no, no. Yeah, the snack bags and the menstrual pads so we are coming out with so many new products. Oh my god. And I don't know, Lulu, do you know I design all of that stuff?
Yeah, you do. I know.
I'm the
I
one
thought
who
you have a
designs
design.
it,
I
not
thought
the
Sophie does
prints,
it.
not the
I
prints,
didn't know.
not the prints. The prints are designed by my team, but the products themselves are designed by me.
Really? I thought Sophie Bhabhi does it.
No, no,
Like everything.
I do all the product, like even the menstrual pads. I design the menstrual pads.
I just thought that Sophie Bhabhi was like the 90% creator in the
Oh,
entire thing.
actually,
Probably 10% you would have just given it. Okay, let's just do this.
yeah, no,
Let's
no.
just give some.
So Sophie has her own business, right? She runs her own
Yeah,
business.
I know. Yeah, I know that.
So she used to help with like the prints and stuff at one point,
Hmm.
and then she didn't want to work with me because she thought that I was too demanding and too this and that. So she didn't want to work with me. So she kind of gave up on that very quickly. But I design all the no. So I think nobody in the family also knows. And they people think that oh this is all made in China. So this guy just goes to China, picks up these products, and comes back. It's like it's not like that. I design all the
No,
products.
but I know, but I didn't know that probably there's someone who's designing this because China will just make what you give them. They are not
Yeah, they are
designing
not going
anything.
to design for you. So I basically come up with the concept. I design it. I stitch it out and do the iterations and everything. I have so many new products. I have beach towels coming out, large. Oh my god! It's like I'm so excited. I
So you
love
will send me one kit, okay? Just send me one kit of everything you
one
have.
one of everything is a big box, Lua. One of everything will be a big box, especially even 10 months down the
I'll
line
come
if you
there.
have a kid.
I'll come there. I'll take everything myself and then
Okay, just give me 2 minutes, Lua. I need to use the washroom and come. I'm going to pause the video. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be.
yeah.
Where is it? Where is my? Come on, come on, come on. I need to go really quickly. Metlu pani pide lucha. Escape.
It's
Okay.
not stop recording.
Okay. But Lou, I'm so actually happy that we did this because I'm like, you know what? This is. I feel that haven't spoken as adults.
Never. I think we have never spoken as adults. I think we've always. So you went away when I was like really young and all.
Yeah, I was 19. You were
Yeah.
probably 11, 12, right?
So we've always seen like, okay, Mamu Bhai was the ideal. Like, okay, you have to become like Mamu Bhai because Mamu Bhai achieved so much, which you did, and you should be very proud of it. Like really,
Again, these
you
were
should
just
don't be
opportunities that were
humble
given to
about it.
me.
No, don't be humble about it. I mean, it's a big thing, yeah. And at that point of time, going there, doing things which you did were a big thing. So, well, always feel like, yeah, you can do it. Like, and the funny part is, what I always wanted to, study abroad and do things, but then the financial situations were not as such. First, and secondly, I was a girl, so my criteria was not education. The criteria was to get married.
Right. We get married and have kids and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, settle down. And not that I regret any of it. I'm very happy, Alhamdulillah, whatever I am doing right now. And Ali has been so supportive when it comes to my education. He let me be like I did my BA post marriage, right? So in my in-laws have been super supportive in the fact that I'm working. There was a time when I used to live with my now I don't live with my mother.
Oh, you're by yourself now?
Yeah, we live I and I
How's
live,
that?
yeah.
How's
So
that?
it is
Heaven,
it is
right?
liberating. It is liberating. Yeah, it is like
Not having
you are your own
somebody,
boss.
not that you have good or bad days, it doesn't matter. Even if it's good, you still are under somebody, right?
Yeah, it is like you it's your house. You are making your own decisions. You're doing things on your own, good or bad. Everything's on you.
Consequences are also yours only.
Like I have to take care of 100 things before I leave the house, which was not the case when I used to live with my mom-in-law. My mom-in-law, poor thing, used to take care of everything. Like I'm
Right.
telling you now, when I was working, like my mom-in-law, when I used to come home at like 4 in the evening, food was ready for me. Like everything was ready. I should just take it and eat. But when I come from school now, I have to cook food.
Yeah.
Things are not ready for me.
So, res- one thing in life I feel like I kind of learned, not even I can, maybe even recently, is responsibility. The more responsibility you take, the more freedom you are allowed.
Yeah, true. That's true.
If you don't want responsibility, then you cannot even have freedom as well.
Yeah, that's correct. I think that absolutely makes sense because then how are you supposed to grow in life? How are you supposed to experience things in life?
That growth also now, Lulu, I feel that people have a very negative thing of growth
Hmm.
and change. Sorry, change. People have a very negative, like negativity attached to change. When I was going to quit my job at my stable job as an aerospace engineer, I was so nervous. I only could do it because Sophie was very supportive of it.
Correct.
Okay, Sophie was super supportive. Quit because she knew I was miserable at that job.
Hmm.
I felt like I was wasting my time. I was not contributing anything. I was not doing anything of value, and I was just going there and punching numbers and just trying to because there was money attached to it. I was miserable. But she kind of pushed me to quit, and when I was quitting, that even that resignation letter, I heard something on the radio that when has change ever been bad? Change is good. All change is eventually good.
So, Mama, there's a quote which I wrote.
Yeah.
Okay, something which I wrote myself. It goes like, "We become who we are by not remaining what we were."
Yeah. 100%. That's
Change.
beautifully done. That's amazing. We
Something
become
which
who we are by not
we
remaining.
become we become who we are by not remaining what we were.
Right. It's almost like a metamorphosis, right? You need to do
Yes,
that, go through
yes,
that
yes.
metamorphosis.
you are this ugly caterpillar which will turn into a beautiful butterfly eventually. You start as a moth, but then you get into a butterfly. Like the other day, I was teaching social studies and I was teaching the concept of change to my children. Guess what I showed? I showed them the metamorphosis of a butterfly.
Because you look at
And
that moth.
I could tell them about change and how time can change.
What grade do you
See,
teach, Lulu?
I teach the grade 4 and 5 right
That's
now.
a really
3, 4,
good.
5.
Those
Yeah,
are
I like.
yeah, those are good kids. They figure out and they start understanding. You can talk to them,
You know
start
what
having
the
conversations.
love children give you? It is unreal. The point to them, the teacher said it, is like, that's it. My teacher said this, the parents are wrong. My teacher said this, you are wrong.
So I'll tell you what one of my teachers did for me. I feel like if I did not have that one teacher in my life, I would have been sitting in Bombay on my dad's counter in Bombay Surgical right now, had it not been for that one teacher. Very likely. So I had this one teacher called Shenaz Bhatri in the eighth
Hmm.
standard. Okay, I was a smart kid, but I was not. I would never apply myself. I would just do the bare minimum work, study last minute, do homework exactly. Jitlu kidu itlu, not nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and I would get like 80%, 80%, 85%, which is still good. But this is me not working hard.
Hmm.
And she told me, what are your plans, mom, and what do you want to do? I was taking tuitions from her as well. I'm like, my says, I'm going to finish my 10th, then finish my 12th, take commerce, obviously, BCom,
College?
have fun in college, and then sit at my dad's shop. Because that was
Yeah.
my big plan.
You were the older, you were the oldest, you were the eldest son, and that was expected of you, no? That
And I
you
had
should get.
nobody else to follow also. There was nobody in the family who was studying or doing wood or anything like that. So that was my full-fledged plan in my head. Huh? Like it was like good etched out. And she's like, but if you do that, then you'll always be known as your father's son. You'll never have an identity of your own. Don't you think? And like,
True.
and that got me thinking. Not that I'm ashamed of being my father's son or anything like that, but that got me thinking. Like, yes, man, I would only be known as Asghar Gandhi's son.
Hmm.
Nobody would know me as myself. And that basically made me like, okay, I want to do this. I want to go out. Even getting out of India, you know why I got out of India? I'll tell you the truth. I did not have room to breathe.
Hmm.
There's so many people around me in our house constantly. I did not know how to escape it.
Yeah, I know.
Ameloko, we used to sleep on our bed and wake up in the morning outside in the hall because there's somebody who came in the night. And they would just wake us up. They would just wake us up in the middle of the night. Okay, okay, okay. So and so uncle auntie has come and now you have to go and sleep outside.
We were also part of it. So you
But
were
not
also.
that it was not you or anybody, but this was like
No,
the whole.
I know from where you. I know what you mean. I definitely know what you mean.
So that's why I like now I live alone. Like live alone in the sense, obviously I have Sophie and Zara, but I like living alone. I want to live alone. I can't live with anybody else. I've had so many like 12th standard exams. My 12th standard, so Fatima's wedding was going on at the exact same time as my boards.
Right.
Then nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Because marriage was important.
Marriage was important, and that marriage had to happen in our house. It's terrible. It's terrible. I
I know.
was they nobody like can you imagine like you doing that right now to your own child? Like you are having and you can have a say, you can say "Okay, 10 divas agal pache," like we can postpone it 10 days
Hmm.
after, like 5 days, next day after. Let the guys
Hmm.
boards finish, give him some room. Because also it's not like they had no expectations of me. They had expectations for everybody thought I was Einstein. That was another thing. That pressure. Everybody thought I was Einstein. I was like, oh my god, that pressure would kill me. Oh, that was terrible. And that's why I just ran away. Me escaping from India was me running away.
But I
Running.
think you've done very good for yourself. I
I
think
I
it's
now I feel good. I feel
yeah.
very happy where I am. But it's been even this has been nobody's
Of
life
course,
is
yeah.
easy.
A lot of times people think it's so rosy. Now you go outside, oh, it's so rosy. You have everything.
You
No,
have no
you
idea.
face the slog which has happened for these many years to reach to that position.
Oh my God! If people knew how many toilets I've cleaned and what I've done for even for my business.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not on why, yeah. I mean, anything takes time. Anything takes time. Anywhere, in fact, not just
I
not
heard
just.
a really good quote from Tony Robbins. Do you know who Tony Robbins is? Yeah, okay. Mostly everybody knows. People underestimate what they people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10.
Mhm. Right.
Because 10 years, if you think of in the larger sense of your life, you're going to live to be 70, 75, 80, God
Mm-hmm.
willing.
Anything above 70 is bonus, I feel.
Bonus, right? And
Yeah.
what is 10 years? Yeah, that is nothing. If you think of it, if you can give 10 years, so you can say that I'm going to do whatever you are doing right now. You can say I'm going to do this for the next 10 years of my life and see where it takes me. And in that 10 years also, no, you can F around for 6 months here and there and not do
Mm,
much and have a little, be in a little mood, and still life is going to turn out relatively decent only.
true.
Relatively, you will be on the upside only if you have to consistently show up. That
Yeah,
is
you need to
something.
show up. I think that is important. Showing up. That's where people just
Yeah,
lose it, where they have to show up.
you need to show up. If you show up, life is going to be okay. If you
True.
show up, if you don't show up, then
So Mumbai, I was switching jobs like a lot. I was switching jobs a lot, and I was really low on self confidence, and things like that were happening. But then I realized that if I want to do something in life, I need to stop self pitying, and I need to start looking at the brighter aspects in life. Like I am educated, qualified as hell. Like I am not some Engla Tengla or anything.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
am very qualified. Yeah, so why can't I trust myself when I'm doing something? And I think just you just need to believe in yourself and have a motive. I think that works.
And Lua, the thing is, that when you say no, you believe in yourself. That is, I was just telling Zara yesterday
Hmm.
that what was going on. Like she said, I can do this, and like, yeah, absolutely you can. Like, how do you know? Like, how do you know? Like, Zara, firstly, I'm telling you this because I want you to believe in it yourself first. If you don't
Correct.
believe in it, why will I believe in it? You have to. So you go for a job interview, and you're like, I'm not
Hmm.
sure. Like, you only don't believe in it. How will somebody else
Yeah.
believe in it? You have to sell it to yourself
Correct.
first.
Correct.
So if you have sold yourself that I'm a smart person, I'm an educated person, and I know these things are going to be challenging, but I'll figure it out. If and
Exactly.
for I'll tell
One
you,
day at a time. Just
and I'll tell
one day
you,
at a time.
for me, I always thought I have whatever I've done in life. No, my aerospace engineering and business and losing weight and this and that. I've always thought that I'll fail miserably at it, but I'll do it regardless because somebody else has done it. So if they have done it. I think I can also do it. I'm no more smarter or dumber than they are.
Yeah, true, true.
I'm no more like I'm like they're not like super smart and I'm not super dumb. So if they figure it out, I'll also figure it out. And that's it.
Correct.
I had no confidence that I would actually do it. The only thing is like if they've done it, I'll do it. So dumb, but it has worked out for me so far. Most of it. Not all of it. I'm still struggling with a lot of stuff, but most of it has worked out for me. It's
True.
Lua, this was so good actually. I'm feeling really good doing this because I've never actually really I've known you for my entire life, but I've not really. I don't think we have spoken for 1.5 hours, even cumulatively.
Never,
Even cumulatively, we
never,
must have never spoken. Agar,
never.
even if you think of last 30 years together, you're 30 years old, we've never spoken for 1.5 hours in 30 years.
Because you know what used to happen? See, you went when I was very young, and then when you came back, you had a lot of people to meet, like your set of friends, and you had Fatima. You guys were closer there. So
Yeah, we
all of
were
a sudden
closer
you're
in
in
age
this
as well.
bracket with, and I was in this bracket with Hussein, and I
Right,
was in
right,
that bracket.
right. You are
So
that.
there was no
And now, actually, at
like
that age, no, that say when you are, I'm 19 and you're 12, that 7 year difference is huge. Right now, I'm
no,
30. Yeah, I'm 38. You are 30, 31. We are at the same age only.
yeah. So it's okay. Like
Now we are the
you've
same
seen,
age.
I've seen the same things, so it's okay.
Yeah,
The maturity matches, but that
yeah.
point of time does not. Nah.
At that time, I feel that I would have felt, not that I was right or wrong, I would have felt that, oh my God, I'm a chucha. Like she's a child.
Ah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, she's a kid. And actually, the crazy part, even right now, is Adil and Hussein. Hussein is 5 years younger to me. Adil is 2 years younger to me. No, 3 years younger to me. I call them
Hmm.
beta beta. So, like in my head, I'm still much more older than they are. But it's that the age difference is no nothing. And when we stand next to each other, I sometimes look much younger than they are now.
Yeah,
Maybe not
true.
with Adil, but Hussein. I like Hussein and I stand next to each other. We started a business right now. I don't know. Hussein has
Uh,
told. So when we go out,
right,
like,
the panels and stuff, no, the window panels and
yeah,
everything.
window
I saw it on
blinds.
Facebook.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So we go out to customers and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, you guys are brothers. We're like, yeah, okay, yeah. And so I'm like, I'm the
Yeah,
older
yeah.
one. I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah. Oh, Hussein is like, you don't need to tell everybody you are the older one.
Mamu bhai, like
Mamu,
Mamu bhai, don't.
yeah, yeah, Mamu, It's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah.
You like Mamu bhai, तो मैं always amat करो
So,
कुछ.
you know what I'm going to do now? I think, how do you feel about this conversation? Are you okay with posting it?
Yeah, I'm pretty okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
fine
we
as well.
touched on a lot of things, and I think this message can be for anybody dealing with anything. Although sounds very cliche and is the most used abused term, believe in yourself, but you believe me, nothing else will work
Nothing else actually
unless you
works
believe
only. Nothing works.
nothing will work.
Nothing works
Nothing will
except.
work. You see these millionaires, this these Ambanis and Tatas, and how what humble beginnings they came with, just because they believed in themselves, they are what they are right now. Not that you can become Ambani. I'm not saying that.
And
Oh,
not,
not that
not
you cannot
that,
become
and
Ambani.
some people's ambitions are
But
also not that, right?
yeah, yeah, you have to start somewhere,
I'll tell you some.
and that will only happen.
I'll tell you a weird thing that I had in my head. Huh?
Hmm.
This was like for me to understand that I was going to be successful in life. This was when I was like 17, 18 years old, and Dhirubhai Ambani died. I don't know when he died. I'm not
Oh,
100% sure when he died, but he had died. Maybe I was in India. I'd come to. I don't remember. And suddenly his birth date was flashed. 28 December 1932, and I was 28 December 1982, and I'm like, that's it. This is a signal from some.
I know. But you believe in science? Because I totally believe in science.
I don't. I don't
There
even
are
believe in science. I was like, no, this is something. This has to be something. Like, oh, this is I want to do business in my life. And Dhirubhai Ambani died. He's exactly 50 years younger than I am. This is if this is not a message from, and I kind of went into that thing, and I kind of convinced myself that something good is going to happen to me
so
in
it's
life.
Amani's birthday also today.
Yeah, it's Dhirubhai Ambani's birthday as well tomorrow. Yeah, today. Right, today.
Today. So over here it's already today. So happy birthday, Mumbai.
Thanks a lot.
These wishes which have already been flooded on the group.
Oh yeah, that is also gives me a lot of anxiety. I do not
Yeah.
go and check WhatsApp. WhatsApp gives me Like my mom is going to call me up tomorrow and say, "Arey, you haven't even said thank you to people who have wished you," because I'm like, this is makes me anxious. I don't know how do I explain it to people. Like I don't like go looking at messages. All of these things just scare me.
I think after this, probably people see this, they'll know.
I don't think anybody has the patience to go through 1.5 hours of
Listen to
us.
1 hour of us blabbering,
Yeah, but it's
blabbering.
I don't even for me also no I don't care. I think this is I look at this also as a record of not the time that we've spent together, not as much as that, but also think of it in this way. Maybe something happens to you or something happens to me, my daughter might find some solace in this,
Probably.
or your child
Yeah,
or your spouse might find some solace in this when you're gone.
true. Because once on the internet, always on the internet.
And that also is like this is some a preservation of some part of even our childhoods that no we can't talk with anybody else, and I don't think anybody else is
Yeah.
interested anyways, but it's something
And
that
nobody will understand our crazy families like us.
yeah we were like this was
Because
our
cousins are totally understand the crazy family
the
like
crazy family where you used to call my dad daddy uncle. Can you imagine that? Are
I
you
still
still
call
do?
him.
Okay,
He's still daddy uncle for me.
but that's amazing that it's you could do that and feel that love and warmth from somebody else outside of your family. And I actually felt that from your dad as
But
well.
but I but I can't tell you the amount of love I get from everybody like Taslimasi and like daddy like they are my parents only like I have always looked up to them as my parents
And I've actually received that
like
kind of love. Your dad is not a vocal person, so when I would meet him, I would feel that love. But whenever I call Batul auntie, I call her up very regularly, talk to her. We speak for an hour at a time, and just random stuff, right? And it's so amazing to talk to Batul auntie. She has so much beautiful energy. Oh my God, I always get enthused. Almost I feel like I go with my cup half full and it is brimming to the edge when I when I stop
I'll
talking
tell
with
you the
her.
level of I'll tell you the level of love they have for me is Hussein's convocation and my marriage date was on the same day. They didn't attend Hussein's convocation, they stayed back for my marriage.
Is that right? I didn't know that, huh?
So Sakina came to Canada. Yeah, Sakina came to Canada for Hussein's convocation. But they didn't go. They attended my wedding. So for me that was like the biggest thing that like they attending my wedding, they didn't go for Hussein's convocation.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
And I will tease Hussein for that fact that they love me more because they attended my wedding and not your
And I
convocation.
was weirdly even I was there at your wedding because I had come from China or something. I was coming back from China or
Yes,
something.
you were there. And I remember you had you and Dadianka then you guys went for some work, I think. You.
Yeah. We went after that. We went to I don't- before we went to China. After I don't remember, but
Yeah, so
sometime we
Hussein was
went.
there. So yeah, weirdly even you were there. So
Otherwise, what are the chances of me being at your wedding? I mean, I had fun at your wedding. I remember it was a lot of fun.
yeah.
How long ago was that, Lulu?
So yeah, Mumbai 10 years ago.
She got married young, yeah.
I got married when I was 20.
Wow. See again, समझे ना
I got
पड़ते.
engaged when I got engaged when I was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lulua. Again, see that was why because you were big, you didn't look 70.
Again, the thing was that because I found a guy who was exactly like me. So, it was no pressure on me, okay,
You have to
like
be a
we made a
certain
good
way.
pair.
You have to be a
So
certain way.
everybody knew everybody, and yeah, you could like I could be myself with, you know, and Ali is a genuinely very nice guy.
Ali was
He
a
kept me.
spectacular person, and I feel you are
Treated me.
lucky to have found him.
I'm very lucky. I found him. Treated me in the best way he could. I mean, and given me whatever he can. more than what
Yeah.
I could ever ask for. So I am very happy, no regrets on that. But this the fact that I was married too young, could have wanted to do a lot of things I couldn't do. But then that's okay,
But I
you just
feel
make whatever you have
your
is right.
parents, I can at least tell you this much, कि your parents or anybody, your family, whatever, they do things to the best of their ability.
Yes, definitely.
They've done it to the,
And
they
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
any better.
Yeah, and to look at it, it's so difficult to find a good partner these days, And I'm so glad
So
that
now,
it came to
Lulu,
my life at such a young age.
now we have this opportunity even with our kids that
Hmm.
if you don't like something that your parents have done with you now, we can actively change it in the upcoming generation.
Yes,
Even if you don't have kids now,
definitely.
even if you don't have
Like
kids, you can
I
actually.
like I know for a fact that I am not going to tell my son or daughter to get married or even engaged before they're 26, 27.
Oh no,
I will never
forget.
do that.
You should not tell them regardless. It's not your problem.
Or whenever they want to do it, they can.
Yeah, do it when you want to do it because that is your life.
Yeah.
I'll tell you with me when Sophie and I got engaged, I thought Sophie was so dumb to get engaged to me. Like, what does she? Like, I could not even look at myself. I hated myself so much. Can you believe that? Like, for me, I thought Sophie was like absolutely lost her mind. I had such self hatred for
No,
myself.
yeah. I think
Obviously, but somebody else might have seen me
no, yeah. But
differently. But I didn't like
I
myself because I saw myself as that fat guy.
yeah, that's because you didn't like yourself.
I didn't like myself. I liked aspects of myself, but not like
And I have to even give it to Sophie Bhabhi that like the I think you guys were engaged for what, 3, 4 years.
3 years. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So the time difference is maddening, and to keep up with that was like
yeah. No, we
difficult.
actually even it was yeah, it was weird, and I was so
Like day
glad to
and
actually
night,
have
day
Sophie
and night. Like
come to Canada with me because I lived alone for so long, and living alone also takes
hmm.
living with too many people also had took a toll on me, and then living alone also took a toll on me. Oh my god, Lulu, let's
Yeah.
maybe now catch up, figure out another time in a couple of weeks,
Yes.
2 weeks,
Yes.
3 weeks, and
Yes.
then let's keep up some progress on your that weight loss journey as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we can do that. Yes. I'll check in with
Yeah,
with
tell
now.
you can talk about and maybe even tips and tricks to people like what you are doing, what you're figuring out. Because now I think your food intake, because it has gone down so much, you'll be much more not conscious, but you will see the effect of what you eat much quicker.
Yeah, yes, I am. I am. I am. So the other day, I like I had this one fish piece, and I immediately had it, and I checked my weight. So I gained around 500 grams, and I was like, oh shit, I can't be eating this again now because I gained 500 grams. So I'm not
No,
eating
no,
it
you
again.
can't. You can't. No, no, you can't gain 500 grams just like that. Yeah.
So probably I think I must have eaten something
Yeah,
else. I
yeah, yeah,
don't
that
know
is you
what.
can't.
But I was
Okay,
like,
okay, yeah. Physically, if you put like 500 grams of food in you, then you are 500 grams heavier. But you eat this much,
yeah,
does it? Okay, that is not
I
how.
don't know what it was or something. It was my weight gain, and I was like, not doing this.
So I'll tell you what I did to lose my last 10 pounds. Intermittent fasting helped a lot. But I don't think it will
Okay.
work with you because you need to because your stomach is so small. You need to eat
No,
constantly.
no, I can't. I can't fast right now.
Yeah. So that I don't think that. So last night I had a heavy meal. So today in the
Hmm.
morning I'm not eating anything. I've just drank 2 cups of coffee and water.
Water. So you'll have lunch?
And now I'll have lunch.
Yeah.
Now I'll sit and have lunch. That's my thing. Lulu, this was lovely. I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. I was so glad we caught up and we had a
I'm
lot of
so
fun.
happy that we could do this, and
Yes.
I'll post it on our YouTube channel for anybody who wants to see it. If
Yes.
if nobody else sees it, I'm sure your mom and my mom will watch it.
Yes. I'm going to send them the link.
Yeah, so I'll put it up either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll send you the link when it's up.
Yes, done.
Okay.
All right.
What should I call the episode? Conversation between two fat people? I think we should not talk to ourselves in that. Huh?
Fat people diaries.
Fat diaries.
Fat
Yeah.
diaries. Yeah.
Yeah, Fat Diaries.
Yeah.
That's a nice name. I hopefully nobody else has taken it. Fat Diaries. Let's do that. Okay, Lulu.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Love you, baby, and say hi.
Once again.
Enjoy your night, and I'll see you soon.
You too. Yes, I'll see you soon.
Bye, baby. See ya.
Bye. Take care.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut the thing. This is that awkward moment that everybody has to face before leaving a call.
Yeah.
Bye, Lulu. See ya. Have a good night.
Bye. See you.